So today I'm discussing updates in the Shanquella Robinson case. It's the 25-year-old woman who took a trip out of the country to Cabo with 6 other people, supposedly her friends. A total of 7 of them went to Cabo, only 6 of them came back. That's because Shanquella lost her life in Mexico. She spoke to her parents when she got there, and within 24 hours, she was gone. For those of you who don't know, her so-called friends told her mother that she had alcohol poisoning, but when the autopsy came back, her mom and dad found out that Shanquella's cause of death was spinal cord and neck injuries. A video surfaced on social media showing a woman identified as Daejhanae attacking Shanquella, who did not want to fight. The man filming was supposed to be Shanquella's best friend. His name is Khalil. And I don't know what kind of best friend he is, but most best friends would try to save their friend, but Khalil videotaped the attack instead. But here's the thing. It's the same video that shed light on the situation, turning this from a case where Mexican authorities said there wasn't any foul play, and the FBI also throwing their hands up like it was nothing to see here, to Mexican authorities now opening an investigation. So yeah, I do believe that video played a very important role in getting people, one, interested in this case, to even put pressure on authorities. The case is now being investigated in Mexico as a femicide. If they find that Shanquella's gender had nothing to do with her death, they will change the case to a regular homicide. So that's really good news. I think this case is going to be solved very quickly because all of these so-called friends are about to start telling on each other, and this is just great news. Now, there's also reports that there's another unreleased video. That video allegedly shows another woman hitting Shanquella while she was in the bathroom, already weakened by Daejhanae's attack. That second woman has been identified as Winter Donovan. Winter Donovan, who was also recording the physical attack on her phone, allegedly wrapped her arms around Shanquella's neck and slammed her to the ground. So now you have 2 people who are responsible for beating up Shanquella, causing these injuries that took her life. It was both Daejhanae and Winter acting like they had signed up for the Bad Girls Club or some type of audition for a reality show. We have to realize that these Gen Z women who grew up on Bad Girls Club, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, and all of those Atlanta Housewives type shows where they saw women going on girls trips or living in the house with each other, starting a bunch of drama and copying all of that bad behavior. We are starting to see the impact that those shows and social media had on the minds of those kids who are now adults. But hey, that's a whole different case study for another day. So just like you had a bunch of misanders trying to figure out how to put this on men by calling Daejhanae, who was a natural woman, a transgender, now they're doing the same thing with Winter. I'm telling you, this is another modern woman tactic to avoid accountability. If they're not trying to share the blame, they run interference altogether by just saying, hey, it's not a woman, that's actually a man, when it's really a woman. Just starting confusion as always. But a lot of people just can't accept the fact that the sisterhood doesn't exist. And it was these women who did this to Shanquella. So to avoid having to accept that, they just keep running around calling natural women, people who are women, they're calling them transgenders. And let's be honest, when women run around wearing wigs, fake hair, fake eyelashes, 20 pounds of makeup, and fake everything, it's possible for all of them who do that to look like transgenderellas. I've been saying that for the longest. It's going to come a day where people won't be able to tell the difference. But whatever, this whole trans argument is really out of pocket. They're basically blaming the LGBT community when they have nothing to do with this. These are women slanging and slamming each other around, not men. So yeah, that's not cool. Now here's the whole thing with the so-called best friend Khalil. He saw the fight, he witnessed these women attack Shanquella, and even when it was over, he didn't call for medical help. He lied to her parents, saying that it was alcohol poisoning. They say protect women, and no, he was not protecting Shanquella, but he was protecting Winter and Daejhanae. Why did he decide to protect them and lie for them? That's a question I would love to ask him. Why? Why, Khalil? You didn't kill Shanquella. Daejhanae and Winter did it. So why didn't you just tell the truth? You know, that makes absolutely no sense to me. So we'll have to see what's going on with that. And if this had happened in America, you would definitely be charged as well. But Mexico is a wild, wild west. So there's no telling what kind of charges these other friends are looking at. Same for the other woman and the other men allegedly on site when this all went down. They all could have called for medical help, even if they did not want to jump into the fight. When the investigation is conducted and it's confirmed that this is how it all happened, I know for sure that Daejhanae and Winter's actions both directly contributed to the death of Shanquella, so they can be charged with homicide. And in Mexico, if there's a fight and someone dies, you can be looking at up to 12 years in prison, and that's the max. Here in the United States, they could have gotten more, but then again, they're women, so even in the US, we all know they wouldn't be sentenced as harshly as men. Now, all these other friends that basically helped cover up for Daejhanae and Winter, I would love to see what they could be charged with in Mexico. In the US, of course, we could think of the charges they could be hit with, and they probably would have been offered plea deals in the States in exchange for their cooperation to convict Daejhanae and Winter. This did not happen in the US. It was in Mexico, where things are a lot different. We're talking about a place where they saw this woman's body in the condition that it was in, and they said there was no foul play. And then you have a lot of people playing Monday morning quarterback, talking about what they would have done if they had been there. All I have to say is, for men and women, when you hang around modern women, this is basically what you get. Modern women are liabilities. If you've been watching this channel, you already know that. They start fights over silly stuff. It's always drama. And when they start fighting, you have two options. Either one, intervene, or two, don't intervene. When you don't intervene and something bad happens, you get blamed for not helping them. All of a sudden, they're not grown women anymore and they turn into toddlers. When you do intervene, it can go a few ways. Either you successfully stop these women, or these women will turn on you. And if they turn on you, you have to overpower it, or they will overpower you. If they overpower you, then you get slashed up, shot up, or messed up, or you overpower them. If you're a man and you overpower them, then you will be punished for overpowering a woman. It's just all really sticky and tricky for men, because they want you to stand in to be an authority figure over people who have no respect for you and don't see you as their authority. These same people believe that a man that's in control is controlling and is toxic masculinity. Like, be hard, but not too hard so you don't hurt the woman. Like, who has the time and patience to be putting up with all of this? Like, which one do you want? You want a man to come get some straightening, no matter how much force or what he has to do to get everyone under control, even if you hurt a woman in the process? Or do you want him to softly, delicately tame a wild animal? Most women won't say what I'm about to say because most are under the sisterhood code. But I gotta keep it real right now. Men, you are fulfilling a death wish hanging out with modern women. No good can come out of being around these kind of people. I show you time and time again what happens in those cases. And then women, you have got to stop dealing with these kind of women too. Choose vacations over girls' trips. Dealing with emotional, moody, cranky, bipolar, depressed, unhappy, unlucky, miserable women, and then going out of town with them, or worse, out of the country with them, it's just not a good idea. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Why is it so hard for women to get along on these trips? And why did Daejhanae and Winter do this to Shanquella? Shout out to Dark Power for always supporting the channel. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.